Alrighty, let's get this started. So I am going to be walking through each of the steps to a program that I created that basically turns all of my school study material directly into flashcards with Anki in a few steps. So we start off here. We've got my school page. They do a thing called self quizzes. They are ungraded. They do not count towards the final grade. However, most teachers put the questions from this, at least some of them, into the final exam, which means this is a great source to get questions for finals and whatnot. So you see, I take the quiz multiple times, and the reason I do this is actually, you can see I purposely did really bad on these, and I just didn't know the material. First thing I do actually when I start my course is take the self-quiz, because when you test yourself before you know the material, you know what to look out for when you're studying the material. So if I'm reading the textbook, I want to take the self-quiz first, so when I'm reading the textbook, I know what to look for based off the self-quiz. It's a pretty good reference for most classes. I've literally 8 out of 10 classes, I would say some of these questions appear on the finals. There are occasionally a few random questions or a few random classes that don't include the study material, which is kind of weird and annoying, bothers me, but whatever, I'll live. So anyway, I automated the rest of the classes, which is basically if you take the quiz, I want to say 3 times is when I've realized it. So I can reattempt the quiz right now. And so you see, it's just the standard question view. You get your multiple choice. Which application has made the greatest use of remote procedure call? I know this one is network file system. I'm not going to go through. I'll just finish the attempt now. So you see I didn't answer any of these. I'm going to submit and finish that. Oh, well. So look I got it right. So what I can do now, and you see after taking it, it's like it gives you this. It basically tells you after your first attempt whether or not you got the question incorrect or correct. It does not tell you the correct answer. But here's the fun thing. If I finish this review and I open up my first attempt, you'll see I now have the correct answer listed right under here. And we've got some pretty fun keywords saying the correct answer is. So now what I can do is, here's the super fun. This is where I automate everything. I used to go through hand by hand, and I would copy this text and I put it into Anki as the question. And then I copy each one of these individual ones, and then I put them into the self-quiz thing, and then I'd make a flashcard hand by hand, and there was like 20 to 30 of these that I have to go through, and then I have to manually check for duplicates. This is probably taking me around 20 to 30 minutes each week per class. So now what I do instead is I go from question 1. Let me see if I can grab it. Question 1, and I just hold down select, and I go all the way down to the bottom to where it says false, and then I copy that, and then I go, I go over here to a text document, and I paste it. And then you see this is the entirety of the thing, and this is basically what I do is I take all of them, and I'll do 2 or 3 of these quizzes to make sure that I got all of the potential questions. And then after the third one, I get to see this piece of information, which is the correct answer. So now what I do is I can actually take all this text and I can parse it, which basically means I just divide it and split it up. So we have some amazing keywords, like question text here is a huge one, which just says that the next line is going to contain the question. And then we have A, which gives us our A text, our B text, C text. It's actually, the copy and paste formatting on this is spectacular. I love it. And then we get the correct answer right here, which, as you'll see, is the exact same as whatever the correct answer is. So now we've got all the information we need, where we can go back to this and we put it into, I have all of them currently saved. I'll open this back up right here. So you can see this is just all of those, except there's like a bajillion of them. I went through and did like all of the potential ones for this one. So now we've got all this text. Now what we can do is, let me make sure I open it. I probably should have done this beforehand. But as this is loading, so I open up my program, I press run, if it will ever open. Takes a minute. I press run, it's starting up, and It's not crashing, hopefully. There we go. It's here. Okay, so now that we got the program open, it takes a text file. So we're gonna press Shift and right click, and that will give us this little thing, copy as path. And I can literally just paste the path of, this is the text file with all the questions without any parsing or anything done to it. Press enter, it gives me the option for a file name. I'm just gonna call it YouTube example. And then it goes through and it says, oh, look at YouTube example was just created as a text document. Now what note type? This is something I'm experimenting with. Anki allows for different types of notes. You've got your basic, your close. I like to do multiple choice because it's quite literally just the same. I can just copy the information directly from it. However, it does have more fields, which is a bigger size and yada, yada, yada. So anyway, we're gonna press 0 and then enter that. And then what type of mode are you doing? Now this is the data and how is it formatted? How am I breaking apart this data? We're doing the self-quiz decoder for this one. I am working on doing a definition researcher one, which is you just insert a text document with words and then it will find the definition on Google. It will copy that definition over and then it will create a basic card with that. You also have book quotes, which is another one I'm working on, and based on note type. I don't remember what. Oh, this is based, you're just making the text based off of whatever this is. So we're gonna press 0 and then you'll see it just finished the program. And if we open up on this other window here, this one, there we go. Look at all of that text has been formatted to a line by line. So you see it took out all the duplicates. There's now 20 questions here. So it's the exact same as the one behind it. If this changes the port number in the sequence, whatever, and look, it's the same exact question, and we've got all of our formatting. This is the thing that I had most difficult with, was how do you format it for Anki, because they need to know what the difference in field is. I can't do it by space and I can't do it by tab, so I use this character to differentiate the fields, which you'll see in just a second. So we have all of our fields, all of our information here, so we've got our YouTube example. Now we go to Anki, and now we are up here, and you see this is just, I've got some cool add-ons and everything. I am way behind in Java programming, I know, whatever. Import file, it gives me my file selector. We now find the YouTube example, and we make sure to select it to separate it by tabs or semicolons, and then press open. So this is the YouTube text file. This is my this right here, this card is the multiple choice and single choice, so I choose that one. I'm gonna put this into my experimental deck because this is what I'm working on. And then fields separated, so it already detected that I'm separating by that special character, and you can see it's got the question, title, what type of thing. So this is how it's been formatted to do. So I just press import and it says, look, importing complete, 20 notes added, added duplicate with first field. This is just saying that I have another deck that has these same questions because I've already done this before. So now look at 20 brand new cards. We can open this up, study now. Which of the following is not a valid type? So look at, it gives me flashcards from the example, so from the quiz. Oh, that's just the annoying little thing to remind me to press the thing. You can't do a connection request. Look at, correct answer, go. I don't remember, I'm gonna just say false. So it's 90% of the time it's just false. Yes. So, you know, you just got, you went from the study material directly to something that is a spaced repetition flashcard program. Hey, look, it's the first question. It's the old duplicate on the client side. That dinging is really annoying, which is actually quite motivating to continue working on these. So yeah, that's it. I'm actually gonna close this. But yeah, that is basically how I go through all of my process. This is basically everything straight from quiz material directly to automated flashcards. I'm trying to get other parts of this to work in the future, and I will update this when I do that. But for the meantime, that's what I have available, and it works quite well. I'm guessing that I spent somewhere between 6 hours to 7 hours to get this set up, which means that if it saves me about 30 to 45 minutes each week, over the course of one semester or one half semester, they're called terms. The school does things very weirdly. Basically, after half of a semester, I will have already saved enough time that it took me to make this program, and every semester afterwards, it saves me a full 2 days worth of work to go through and copy and paste this crap. So that's awesome, and I'm working on ways to automate like everything else, because who wants to spend time on this crap? And that's about it. So thanks for watching, and I will stay updated with stuff, I guess.